Hey guys, this is Neil from Neil and Dixie on the AT. And I thought, being as it's only about 19 days before we start our hike this year, that it'd be time for me to do a gear review. I'm going to do it a little bit different than you've seen on some videos. We just came back from a training hike, so if you don't mind, I'm going to start with my pack full, show you what it looks like, show you the pack, and then I'm going to take everything apart and we'll go over it one by one. So this is it. This is the pack that's going to take us up to Mount Katahdin. The Osprey Exos 58. Okay, as you can see, I have the Big Agnes 10 on the bottom there, and let me turn it around for you. Here's the back of the bag, and as you can see, I've made two minor adjustments or additions, if you say. These pockets right here that you see, they don't come standard on this pack. They are an addition by Z-Pack. Really nice piece of equipment. They're a little bit pricey at $25 a piece, but add almost no weight to the pack and add a lot of flexibility. And all my gear, not including consumables, we'll deal with the food bag later, comes in at 19.7 pounds. So we're not ultra light by any means, but it's a pretty good deal. Here's the gear that I'll be hiking in and was not included in my base weight. A ball cap, a Columbia hiking shirt, Columbia convertible pants, one pair of ex officio boxer briefs, a pair of darn tough socks, a pair of sock liners. I'll have to let you know how they work out. My Dirty Girl gaiters, my pair of black diamond trekking poles, my Salomon XA Pro 3D hiking shoes. The black diamond poles are the Trail Shock Pro. And you can see here that I did add about between 25 inches and 3 feet of Gorilla Tape on each trekking pole. Those also was not included in my base weight. I'll be commenting on this gear, on how it worked out for me along the trail as we go along, or if you have some particular questions about the gear, the trekking poles, or how I picked the Solomons or anything like that, feel free to leave a comment at the bottom of this video and I'll reply to it as soon as I can. And here's what it looks like with everything unpacked. Now, there's a few items there that you see on the canvas that aren't actually going with me on the hike, but they're there for a particular comparison reason. Now I'm going to take you through where I put everything one by one and kind of go through the pockets and show you where everything went. These are the items that I keep in the brain of my backpack. First, you have the Black Diamond Storm headlamp. Very sturdy, very waterproof type unit. Very good unit. And my Z-Pack's pack cover, that goes in the brain, along with my wallet and my mosquito net. Attached to my waist pockets is my hand sanitizer, and it's best to buy the ones with the little doohickey that hooks right onto your belt, and my knife, along with my whistle. That knife is a Swiss Army climber, and you can also see that I have attached a piece of paracord with it, with a clip, to keep me from losing it. Here's my sleep system. Okay, this is my Feathered Friends 3-season down sleeping bag. This bag is for storing the sleeping bag. That's not actually going with me. I have a Sea to Summit bag for everything to go into. Here's an example of where you can save money by buying. This is my blow-up pillow. It's a Technology pillow. Compares very well to the Sea to Summit pillow, with much less expensive. Here is my sleeping bag liner, and that's a Sea to Summit liner, as well as my Thermarest sleep pad. I'm also going to use my my buff during the day, but at night I'm going to use that as a pillowcase. For a pack liner, I have a 55-liter Outdoor Research dry bag, and I know you've heard a lot about using compact garbage bags for a liner, but when I compared the $25 cost of this to buying a box of 12 trash compactor bags, this bag won out. My tent, as I mentioned, is a Big Agnes copper spur. We went with the UL 3, which is a 3-person tent for both me and Dixie. I'm carrying the tent. Dixie is carrying the poles and the ground cover. Over here we have, that's my my clothes bag, and I'll go into that in greater detail in a minute as soon as I move some of this other stuff. My puffy jacket, that's my ditty bag with everything else in it. There again, I'll go over that individually after we clear some room. And most of what you see here is actually what sits in the outside pockets of my backpack. As you can see, I have the 2 1-liter Smart bottles, my Sawyer Squeeze filter. I've jettisoned the Sawyer Squeeze bags and have gone with instead these 2-liter bags, which have a clip at the top that allows you to open the entire bag and fill it without the need for a scoop. I've also jettisoned the gravity feed system because I won't be using it. My rain gear, it's a Patagonia rain jacket along with a Montebell rain. If I didn't mention it before, that's my Patagonia puffy jacket, and this is my cook system, which is a Snow Peak titanium pot, MSR pocket rocket stove, right, with a little bit of a koozie there, and my cook pouch. And that's about all there is. Like I said, I'm going to do a separate breakdown on my clothing bag and on my ditty bag. Here's an example of where trying to save a few bucks doesn't always work out. I bought this knockoff seat pad online. I paid $2 or $3 for it, as opposed to getting the Thermarest seat pad. And after using this for a few times, there was a reason why it only cost a few bucks. So that's out. I ended up buying the Thermarest seat pad anyway, and that's the one that's going to go with us on the trail. And here we have the contents of my ditty bag broken down. I'm going to start over on the left and move over to the right. Okay, coming up first here, we have that's some K-tape for some muscle pulls. We have some moleskin, my repair kit, which consists of some gear repair tape, a patch kit for Thermarest sleep pads, and this here is the splint for my tent, which normally comes packed with the tent. My experience has been if you leave it there when you need it, you won't be able to find it. I have some meds, some Advil PM, some Imodium, Benadryl, Advil, my day pack, my lip balm, which really should have been in the pack, a set of earplugs, which is necessary for sleeping in the shelters, toothbrush, toothpaste, a comb, a couple of zip ties, because everybody knows you can fix almost anything with a zip tie, some Body Glide, my spork, a pair of latex gloves, my medical kit, which contains some basic bandages, a few Band-Aids, some alcohol wipes. There we have my Bic mini lighter. In case that goes down, I have a few waterproof matches. Up there is my electronics kit, which is basically that's my Acre brick with a charge cord for my phone and a double plug. Some off with DEET, luxury item here, a camp towel. And speaking of luxuries, I have a small pack of wet wipes, along with my memo pad, a Sharpie, a pen, and my ditty bag. And last is an extra set of tips for my trekking poles. And here we have the last item in my pack, the contents of my clothing bag, which I'll be going over one by one. Here we have my cold weather hiking gear that will be going home as soon as the weather breaks, hopefully around Damascus. That's my Patagonia hoodie, my light pair of running gloves, and my skull cap. For camp wear, I have a smart wool underlayment, a pair of Patagonia base layer, and a pair of heavy duty socks. Also part of my camp gear is a hiking shirt, a pair of ex officio boxers, and a pair of running shorts that I've removed the lining from to reduce the weight. And a cold weather item that will be staying with me for the length of the hike is my Patagonia puffy jacket. And these would be what I consider to be my luxury items for morale more so than necessity, which is an extra hiking shirt, an extra pair of ex officio briefs, and an extra pair of clean socks that I'm willing to take the weight penalty for. Okay, guys. Now I know I kind of ran through that a little bit, but that was on purpose. I've watched enough of these videos that have gone through things in painstakingly detail, and I didn't think it was necessary. Take a look at the video. If you have some questions, if there's something that I was too brief on, please make a comment below in the box, and I'll sure to get right back to you. And I think that's the best way of handling it. Thanks. See you on the trail.